Hello, my name is Michael Kiesler, and I'm an intern at the Drexel Student Counseling Center. In this video, I'll be talking about some self-guided approaches to the treatment of primary insomnia, some things that you can work on your own. Now, certain criteria are technically required for a full-blown diagnosis of primary insomnia. In this video, though, I'll be using the term insomnia more fluidly to reference just kind of any general sleep concerns. These might refer to problems getting to sleep, staying asleep, returning to sleep upon waking, or even making sure that sleep is, in fact, restorative. Treatments for insomnia can be potentially helpful for anyone who's experiencing any of these sleep-related concerns. Insomnia is not uncommon, especially in transition periods like going off to college, moving into a new dorm, moving into an apartment, getting new roommates, or even starting to share one's bed with another for the first time. As another note, the approaches I'll be discussing today are cognitive behavioral therapy approaches to the treatment of insomnia. Now, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT as it's often referred to, is an umbrella term that refers to a therapeutic orientation. And the cool thing about CBT is it believes that our internal thoughts cause our feelings and behavior, rather than external situations, people, or events. Thus, CBT can be very self-empowering because it explains that if we can change how we feel about or react to external factors, then we can improve our feelings and behaviors. As another side note, many people think the best and easiest way to treat insomnia is with medication. However, research has shown that while medication may be effective in the short term, it is not effective in the long run, and CBT is actually more effective in both the short and the long-term treatment of insomnia. Additionally, CBT has very little risk associated with it, whereas medications come with the risk of prolonged drowsiness or the development of tolerance and even dependence. Now, a CBT model of insomnia describes a kind of self-perpetuating snowballing situation. Specifically, insomnia both feeds and is fed by bad sleep habits, disturbing thoughts, physical arousal, and daily consequences. For example, I'll talk about a made-up case that I'll refer to throughout this presentation. In Frank's case, he had a little trouble getting to sleep, which caused him worry over that sleep loss, which made it harder to get to sleep, which made him take naps during the day to catch up, which made it even harder to get to sleep, to the point that even when he laid down he would get anxious about sleep, which made it even harder to fall asleep, to the point where he was regularly so unrested that he always felt tired, irritable, and couldn't focus in class. So you see, insomnia can become kind of a snowball that way, in that it gets worse with time rather than better, unless something is done to kind of halt that snowball in its path and throw a pot of hot water on it. Now, CBT approaches to insomnia try to do this in a variety of different ways. For example, cognitive techniques try to alter the sleep-disruptive thoughts and worries. One of these techniques is called cognitive control, and this is a way of relaxing and dismissing disturbing thoughts before going to bed. Cognitive control instructs individuals to spend 15 or 20 minutes reviewing and dismissing the day while avoiding worry about the next. To give an example, again going back to Frank, alright, so today I woke up around 8:30 and got out of bed after only hitting the snooze button once or twice. That was good because I got to class on time, but I didn't have enough time for breakfast, so I was hungry all through class and probably didn't pay as good enough attention as I could have otherwise. After class I did some reading, and that was good. I really wanted to walk home and do nothing, but by the time I got there I would have had to turn right around and go back anyway, so it's good that I stayed and knocked out my homework. Didn't have to worry about it this evening. After that, I met up with my sister for lunch. That was a lot of fun. It's good to see her. I should probably have lunch with her more often and, just keep in better touch. She lives so close, and it's nice to get a dose of home every once in a while. After lunch, I had that 4-hour chem lab that I always dread, but it wasn't that bad, and I got through it. 4 weeks down, just 6 more of that to go. And I'll be on to new classes after that. After that was over, I went to the gym, worked out for a bit, got a shower, and then met the guys for dinner. It's fun, good to see everyone. After After that, they went out to hang out, but I met up with Claire to watch American Idol. I'm not really a big American Idol fan, but Claire is, so well, that's that. I kind of hinted that I had a crush on her tonight, finally, and it didn't really go over as I was hoping it would. I don't know if she didn't take the bait or knew what I was doing and tried to deflect me, but I don't know. Either way, it didn't go great. Now I feel kind of awkward about it, and I'm not really sure what it'll be like the next time I see her. She did take off kind of quickly after I said something. I don't know, the show was over, and she said she had to get up early the next day. Oh well, I guess there's no sense in really worrying about it. I'm going to see her later in the week, and we'll have to just see how things go. There's no sense in worrying about it now, so, what's done is done, and I took a shot. We'll just have to wait and see. After I hung out with Claire, I did a little bit of reading, messed around on Facebook for a bit, and now I'm here dismissing my day, getting ready to go to bed. So in Frank's case, having these cognitive control dialogues with himself could have helped him relax and avoided dwelling on the events of the day or worrying about the next, ultimately helping him get to sleep. So two other cognitive approaches are called Paradoxical Intention and Thought Suppression. Now, these are based on the idea that if disturbing thoughts are preventing sleep, then those thoughts should be overshadowed by different thoughts, making sleep easier. Remember, the human mind is kind of a funny thing. After all, what if I said to do anything except imagine a purple elephant? You see the elephant? Exactly. By a similar token, if you try really, really hard to fall asleep, then what's the last thing that's going to happen? Falling asleep. So paradoxical intention instructs you to actually focus on the idea of trying to stay awake. The idea being that that will overshadow all that work trying to get to sleep, and then sleep will actually come naturally. Thought suppression works on kind of the same idea, but it's just more general. And thought suppression instructs individuals to just do anything that will overshadow those thoughts about sleep. Things like repeating a phrase like cellar door, reciting the words to a song or poem, or even counting sheep for that matter. So having covered some cognitive approaches to insomnia, let me now move on to a more behavioral approach. My favorite of the behavioral approaches to insomnia is called stimulus control therapy. Now, the idea underlying stimulus control therapy, or SCT, is that insomniacs become increasingly frustrated with their inability to sleep, and over time come to associate the bedroom with frustration and anxiety rather than sleep. Then, when individuals go to bed, the bed automatically activates those feelings of frustration and anxiety, thereby preventing sleep. So SCT seeks to repair that association or psychological relationship between the bed and sleep. Stimulus control therapy has a number of rules that, if adhered to, will hopefully repair the association between the bed and sleep. So rule number 1 is only go to bed when sleepy. Rule number 2 is to get out of bed if unable to sleep, and only return to the bed once sleepy. Following these first 2 rules will decrease time lying in bed anxious and frustrated, and increase time in bed sleeping, strengthening that relationship between the bed and sleep. So rule number 3 is to cease non-sleep activities in bed. Again, we want the bed to activate sleepiness, so time spent in bed reading, watching movies, or playing video games confuses what our mind thinks the bed is for. So really, try to limit the bed to sleep and activities that uniquely require the bed and the bedroom for privacy. I know these 3 can be especially hard in the dorms, where typically you have the choice of your bed or the desk, but this is a great opportunity to get out of the dorm room. Go study in a lounge or a coffee shop, hang out with the guys, watch movies in a movie theater, play video games at your friend's apartment, have a girls' night out, whatever. Rule number 4 of stimulus control therapy is to get out of bed at the same time each morning. This will help your body develop a natural sleep rhythm and pattern. So even if you're still tired from a night of poor sleep and don't need to get up, still get up at that wake-up time anyways. By doing that, when nighttime arrives, you'll be tired from that previous night's poor sleep, making it easier to fall asleep that night. This will, again, help strengthen that relationship between the bed and sleep, and with each day the sleep pattern will regularize more and more. Rule number 5 is to avoid napping. This too will help you ensure that you're tired when it's time to sleep. Also, it will avoid further confusion or association with the bed. If you think of your mind like doing a math equation, the goal is to get to the point where late evening plus darkness plus lying in bed equals sleepiness and sleep. Napping during the day will upset that calculus, so it's important to only sleep at night when it's time to sleep. Obviously, an important note to make is that it's important to take naps if you're dangerously sleepy or tired. Please don't deprive yourself of sleep if you really need it. Rule number 5 only demands that you avoid the regular practice of napping. So just to review those 5 rules of stimulus-controlled therapy for insomnia. Rule number 1 is only go to bed when sleepy. Rule number 2 is get out of the bed if unable to sleep and only return once sleepy. Rule number 3 is to reserve the bed for sleep. Rule number 4 is to get up at the same time each morning. And number 5 is to avoid the regular practice of napping. So that about wraps up my discussion on self-guided insomnia treatment techniques. We talked about cognitive control, paradoxical intention, thought suppression, and stimulus-controlled therapy. For more CBT approaches to insomnia, I invite you to research things like relaxation training or sleep hygiene education. Of course, if you need more help, please contact the Student Counseling Center. Also, we can provide a referral to an outside source if that's really what you would like. So thanks for watching this self-guided video in insomnia intervention, and from all of us at the Student Counseling Center, wishing you sweet dreams.